Thank you, Cathal Crowe. Minister, I wish to go a little bit off the programme with my contribution insofar as what others have been contributing. So in the last 12 months, you and your counterparts in Europe really have looked at the whole thing of supply chains in terms of getting vaccinations available in Europe and then dispersing them right throughout the Union. Very successfully so. It was in its early days. There were many potholes met along the way, and we saw with Oxford and Janssen how difficult it was at times to get supplies into the country, but now that has all been overcome, thankfully. We now have 93% or so of our adult population in Ireland fully vaccinated. Who would have ever believed it would have gotten there? And even Bloomberg themselves, the colossal media outlet that it is, now recognises Ireland as a world leader in terms of tackling COVID. I want you to go to European colleagues again and look to fix another supply chain, and that's the one that relates to construction. Because we've long known in this country for the past 12 or 14 months or so, there's been a spiralling cost in construction prices. Construction is now 30% higher in costs as to what it would have been pre-COVID in 2019. If you look at analysis of those figures, labour costs in that period have risen by 4%, but material costs, in particular steel, insulation and indeed timber. Timber is something we could, of course, in our own economy largely supply, but the other products such as steel and insulation come from further afield. The construction materials deficit is felt in every country west of the Ural Mountains. It's also felt in North America. And I can't, for the mind of me, understand why there hasn't been a European-wide approach to this. If we were able collectively, as a bloc of member states, to fix the supply chains of medicines and vaccines, why aren't we looking, as a European bloc, of actually tackling the deficient supply chains of construction materials? I really hope you can raise this with counterparts in Europe, both within the Council, but external to that as well. I think it's very important that this dialogue would happen and it would deepen. I believe it can be fixed. I just want to conclude by referencing Poland. A number of contributors have mentioned them also. So I have many Polish friends, many Polish neighbours. I also did a block of Erasmus study when I was in college in a small town near the Polish border. I was in the Czech Republic. A fabulous place. I was there in 2002, just a couple of years before they acceded to the European Union, and there was huge excitement about what the European Union would bring in terms of economics, but also in terms of the value set that Europe has stood for many decades. I think it's really regrettable that the erosion of LGBT rights that we've seen in Poland in recent months has really manifested itself, and that it's now in violation of EU discrimination laws. Another point I wish to make in reference to Poland is that I don't think they're fully playing their part insofar as digital COVID certification is concerned. I have a constituent in Clare at the moment who got his first vaccine in Ireland. He asked the HSE, would it be possible, because he was relocating to Poland, would it be possible to get his second jab in Poland? They said no problem, because EU-wide health policies and indeed digital COVID certification allows for that. He's now without a digital COVID cert because Poland have decided, despite his best efforts, that all agreements that are in place in terms of certification don't necessarily apply to them. They won't certify him as being fully vaccinated, and with that, all of the privileges and freedoms that people have at the moment when they are COVID certified are being denied to him. I would ask that you might engage with your counterpart in Poland on that. They're either in digital COVID certificate or they're not. If they're in it, they need to sign off on people, be they Irish or from other European countries, that have had first vaccine in their home country, second vaccine in Poland. It's what they signed up to. They need to certify and start issuing these certificates. Thank you, Minister. Thank you, Cathal Crowe.
Thank you very much.